Hello, welcome to Inside the Booth. I'm Dan Arena, and we have our special guest here today, Jim. What's your last name? I don't want to butcher it.
Jim Toscano.
Toscano. Okay,
Yes.
good. Awesome. So we have Jim Toscano. He is the director of this documentary movie called The Pretender, and he obviously has his own production company. So we are in it to win it tonight, I should say.
Yeah.
My brother is a little late. He'll be with us momentarily, hopefully. So, so welcome, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you being here.
No, thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to talk to you guys.
Definitely. So I guess tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and how you do things.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm Jim. I live in Detroit, Michigan, and like you said, Dan, we have a production company in downtown Detroit. We're kind of like set up in an old like a farmer's market, old Italian market.
Oh, okay.
And
Cool.
yeah, it's really nice. It's like the epicenter of the town, and it's over 100 years old, and there's still fruit vendors and vegetable vendors. But then there's like guys like us that have a small business in their small creative space and lofts and stuff like that in there. So
very cool.
Yeah. So that's where our production company is, and we do a lot of, because we're in Detroit, we do a lot of automotive related commercials and content, stuff for TV,
yeah.
but then a lot for social media, and those different channels.
Oh, that's very nice. Very
nice.
Yeah,
it's fun work. We do a lot for like Jeep, Ram trucks, and fun stuff like
trucks,
that.
Huh? Oh yeah. Those things are cool. I did watch a couple of your commercials. They were pretty neat.
Sweet.
Very, very, very professional.
Yes, thank you. I hope so.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. I love your stuff there.
Thanks. And we do some documentary work. That's kind of what we love to do.
Right. Now, how many documentaries have you made so far?
So we did, The Pretender is our first feature length.
Okay.
But while we were working on that, we did 2 documentaries for PBS locally. Yeah. So we did something about the Detroit architecture, kind of the history of the Detroit architecture and how it kind of inspired the world's architecture. And then we just recently did another documentary about jazz in Detroit. And that's cool. Basically, something, that's the one form of music that was like invented in the United States. And Detroit was one of those towns that where it all kind of started, even before Motown. So we told that story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. How are you guys handling this pandemic over there?
Yeah, it's opening up nicely now. We've kind of stayed busy throughout it. We had some stuff that we shot right before the pandemic, so we spent some time editing that, and then
cool.
And then we just have to kind of do things differently. Have to have a COVID compliance officer on set, and just kind of make sure everyone's safe and stays 6 feet apart and takes their temperature and stuff like that.
So no hugging, huh? No saying,
no,
hey, what's
no
up, guys?
No.
do that in the editing room.
Yeah, exactly. Through the glass. Yeah.
Yep.
So it hasn't been bad. We've been keeping busy, and then it gave us some time to kind of do a lot of this, kind of promoting the Pretender and just talking about the Pretender. One of the silver linings was, I don't know if you knew this, but right when the pandemic hit, so March, when we got into April, Sylvester Stallone found the film on Amazon.
Oh, really?
Did you know about that? Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah. So Stallone saw the movie, and then around midnight his time, in LA, he sent out a message on his social media. So Instagram and Twitter and his Facebook saying, and we posted it too, so you can look it up. But if you're a Rocky fan, this is a must-see documentary about the world's #1 Rocky impersonator.
Right.
So he did that. He took a video of his house and all that stuff, and I woke up the next morning and my phone had like 300 messages on it, and
we were
and we were told that night like 50,000 people downloaded it just that night.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, that's real good.
that's real good.
Yeah.
Praise God, man. That's great.
That was sweet. So, yeah, so he did that, and then it kind of blew up after that. It was like it trended number 2 trending movies in Amazon for about a couple days there in April, and number 1 was the Will Smith movie, like the End of the World movie, I Am Legend.
Oh yeah.
That was number 1, and the Pretender was number 2 for a couple days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Everybody thought we were in the apocalypse. Must be.
Yeah,
that's why they that's why they watched that one, right?
Yeah. And then they wanted to watch it, so maybe they watched I Am Legend and then lighten the mood and watch some Pretender afterwards.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So that's how the pandemic like started for us, was Stallone doing that, and it kind of it was neat because we got to use a lot of our time to jump on podcasts and kind of help promote the film and talk about it. So it's kind of weird beginning to the podcast. It's kind of an exciting time in a way for us.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. That's good stuff. Yeah. We definitely enjoyed it. Matthew is one of our editors, and he comes on every once in a while. So he said he really going to pop up his thing here. He says he really enjoys The Pretender. You really know the man pretty much completely about his obsession with the Rocky film. It was great.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. I was going to ask you how you guys heard about it. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I think I heard about it on Instagram. I was just, I follow, who we were just talking about Frank Stallone.
Oh, okay.
And then I do follow Sylvester too, but I like looking at Frank's stuff more. And he's just more fun to, he's more fun to watch and see what he's up to,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think something popped up in my home feed about The Pretender just because I follow those things.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Rocky. Yeah, everybody loves Rocky. And then I was like, oh, Pretender Rocky, huh? He wants to be Rocky. And then I watched the commercial on the Pretender's Instagram site there. And then that's pretty much how I was like, got interested in, hey, this is pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
And then after that, probably about a month later, I started messaging you going, hey, what's up? What's going on? Just to see if I can connect,
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
So that's cool.
Yeah,
go ahead. You
No, I was just going to say, you mentioned Frank, and Frank's been a big supporter of the film. He saw it way back. I think we sent him a link, and he really liked it. And the day that we went live on Amazon and iTunes, I talked to him that day, and he said, "How's the movie going?" And I said, "Actually, it comes out today." And he said, "Send me a trailer. I'll post it right now." And sure enough, I sent him a trailer. He posted it 10 minutes later, and that was like a nice, good kickoff. Once the film was released, that helped a lot. Got the word out, and
that's cool.
It was cool that he liked it. I was telling you off before we started. We've kind of been become kind of friends or acquaintances, and we talk once in a while. And we were hanging out in Philadelphia one night, and he said, "Man, that Mike Kunda in the film." He said, "Man, he is a dead ringer for my brother."
Yeah,
said,
right.
And the way he walks, the way he talks,
right.
And the only person that does a better impression than Mike is Frank,
right?
Sly's
exactly.
brother.
Yep.
I told him that. I said, "You're better than Mike." He said, "Well, I ought to be. I'm his brother."
Yeah, his brother. Yeah.
So he does a great Sly impression. So yeah, it's been really just fun, man. It's just a fun movie. I always tell everyone, it's a goofy movie, or it sounds like a goofy movie, but there's a lot of heart in it and behind it. It's that's kind of what we wanted it to be. So it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds good. Well, here's a question Matt's asking, and I'm probably going to ask this one too eventually, but we'll ask it now.
Yeah.
How'd the idea come about, and how did you meet Mike to do the film?
So I was actually met Mike a long time ago, and it was really random. Like I just met him in Philly. They were filming one of the Rocky movies, and I kind of just stumbled upon the set, and I saw Mike standing there, and I met him, and he kind of drew a crowd because he looks like him, he sounds like him. He wasn't exactly impersonating him, but everyone kind of like, what's up with this guy? so I hung out with him for a while. And, that day we're talking and everything. And before I left, he says, hey, if you ever want to, talk or meet up, I'm on. This is like before, this is a while ago. So it's before social media was really like catching on too much. But he said, I'm in the Stallone Zone, StalloneZone.com in the forums. So you never forget StalloneZone.com. Right. So I went home or went to the hotel because I'm from Detroit and I was staying in Philly for the week doing some work. And he was on the news every single night. I'd like go to work and at night I'd come turn the TV on and there was Mike in the local news. They would do these things where like, Sylvester Stallone is here in Philadelphia and no one's happier than superfan Mike Kunda, and they cut to it. I'm so happy, another Rocky movie. And I'm like, wow, this guy is the real deal, man. Right. So I just would check in on the Stallone Zone every once in a while, and there he was, top commenter, I'm like, wow, this guy is not kidding around. Right. And so I started, I worked in advertising. I started to get into filmmaking and I bought a camera so I could start kind of shooting. And I thought, this guy's story is so cool. Yeah. I'm not that good of a camera operator yet. I'm not a director yet. But his story is so interesting that I think whatever I shoot, people will watch it, Right. Yeah. And so I drove down there with a production assistant and I thought I was going to make like a 5-minute, 15-minute little video. And it was like, whoa, dude, this is way more than a 5-minute thing. I didn't want to take the fast way out and just put together a cool, I'm sure it would have been cool, like a little 5-minute thing, but it was like, you were like striking gold and walking away from it, if I wouldn't. Right. Yeah. So, and it was and if you've seen the movie, like the thing that really made me stop and think like, all right, we gotta, we're going to have to, come back and keep filming was his parents. I interviewed his parents and the dad especially poured his guts out, and he was so, there was all this stuff going on and, he was so proud of him and so nervous for him and all these different feelings. And but then when I was walking out, he slapped me on the back and, he's this Italian dude and he brings me in and he says, thank you for making this film about my son and following my son's life. And, it was like no pressure, right? So I just figured, all right, this is more than that. And so we spent like 5 years making it.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's cool. That's good.
It went from 1 weekend to 5 years. Yeah.
I know that feeling. I made a movie in high school. It took me about 3 years to make.
Yeah. 3 years?
Welcome. Yeah, 3 years. Welcome, brother David Arena.
Hey, David.
Hey, Jim. How you doing, man?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for joining us. I'm sorry I'm late, gentlemen.
That's all right. That's all
Children.
Right. Yeah,
I'm a lone ranger tonight, so my wife is celebrating her birthday with some friends. So
cool.
Yeah. So cool. So don't mind me. Keep going.
Yeah. So that's how I met him, and that's kind of the story about how we kind of kicked it off. Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah. So I guess let's go back and ask you what inspired you to start making film and doing commercials and doing your just your videos, your film.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know. I guess it goes back, way back when I was a kid and, me and my family, we kind of bonded with movies, and it was something that, we'd watch movies together and talk about them and critique them and all the way, even now it's like, what'd you see? What have you seen lately? What are you watching? What are you going to watch? But I always loved films. And then as I got a little bit older, I loved documentary films. And, I like underdog stories, you know, and,
right.
And this is definitely an underdog story.
Oh, definitely.
And
this is like Rocky 2.0 over here.
Yeah. We almost called it another Rocky. That was one of our. We had a lot of different titles. We could not come up with a title. You know, I thought that was going to be the easiest thing. I told my partner Danny, my business partner Danny, I said, you know, don't worry, we'll figure it out. Someone's going to say something in the film, and it's going to be perfect, and that'll be the title. And we had Rocky 2, TOO, you know,
right.
too easy.
Right.
And then we did another Rocky, and that would just sounded like double meaning, you know, like a different guy being Rocky, but it was also kind of cheesy, like another Rocky movie. Yeah. And Mike, the Pretender, he hated that one because I think it makes me sound stupid. You know, I think it makes me sound like a joke. But he didn't like that. We had The Distance. We were going to call it The Distance. Yeah, I think those were the major front runners. So we have all these hard drives, like as the name changed, you know, like another Rocky, and then like, no, not that one, you know. So we have all these like hard drives, archival hard drives with all different names on it.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Yeah, made everything even harder. But but yeah, I just like to tell stories with heart, and you know, Mike's story has heart. And
definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, and just anything we do, even if it's a car commercial or you know, something very simple. Danny Janino, my business partner, we always try and like bring some storytelling or some kind of heart to it, no matter what it is. And so that's but making documentaries like this is what I really love, and getting in, especially these character-driven documentaries where you really get into someone's life and see what makes them tick. And I think no matter how different they may seem, I like to find a relatable space, you know, like where I can relate to them and the audience can relate to them, and everyone takes away something positive, you know, or just learn something. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah. I told my brother to mention this, but I'll mention it.
Go ahead.
It reminds me of when I was in high school. I had these phases in life, you know. I had like a Bruce Lee phase, camouflage phase, a Star Wars phase. Where I would dress up like that in high school.
Wait. I just want to mention the Star Wars phase was a lot of fun because he entered himself into a talent show at our school. And he decided to do El Yankovic's song. What is it?
That Star Wars one?
Yeah.
Some kind of Jedi, I think was the name of it. Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
No.
But I know Weird Al's stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, early 2000, 1999. Yeah, that's so awesome. It was right when episode 1 came out, when the whole craze, everybody's going nuts.
About
the
Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Oh,
everybody's going nuts. And so my brother was in that phase, and he was wearing his Jedi cloak, and he was up on stage lip syncing
pretty much
to this song. He got in a couple of words, and I was like so embarrassed, and he had to record it. I was like, oh.
You got to play that. You got to play that. On the podcast.
I should. I got to find it first.
I'll watch it. That's funny.
It had something to do with, you know, Anakin Star Wars. Yep. Yeah. Something about him being young, and
Dan's acting like he doesn't remember.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm not sure what the words were.
Yeah, you know the words. You know.
Yeah.
Soon you'll be a Jedi, something like that.
Something exactly like that. Yeah.
It was quite embarrassing. I got so bored. I was messing around with the effects on the VCR.
Too funny.
Because we had the VHS recorder.
The Saga Begins was the name of it.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Matthew.
From Weird Al.
The Saga Begins. That's the one.
That's awesome.
But anyways,
I'm glad you said that, though. I mean, that's kind of that's how I was too. I think a lot of people were like that. You know, where you watch this movie like Sunday night, and Monday you go to school and you're like, dude, I'm Bruce Lee.
Yeah, right.
I feel great, man. I'm this, you know. And I think everyone, like, if you had an imagination, you know, like, I think a lot of people felt like that. That's what I, you know, wanted to capture. And the you know, the amazing thing is that, like, I mean, Mike is really like that every day. I mean, like I asked him, how many times have you seen Rocky? And he said, God, I forget the number now, but it was like it was over 400. It was like 465 times that I kept track of. He had tally marks.
He would tally mark every time he watched it.
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was behind his bed. So when he got to 465, like, you know, his dad painted over it or something. So he stopped keeping track. But,
right.
You know, and he can still watch it. And that like blew my mind, man, because I like the movie a lot myself. But I mean,
yeah, me too.
We
did a live movie review on the original Rocky.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun.
It's definitely
was a good movie.
It's a great movie. It's like I always think of it like one of the original like indie films. You know, it was made on a very small budget. You know, used a lot of existing light. They had, you know, a minimal amount of days to get it all.
The best part that when we were doing the review, the best part that I found out about was when Stallone was running down the street and a food stand guy had an orange and tossed it to him, and that was not scripted.
Yeah.
That was just out of the blue. This guy just saw, and he didn't even think they were filming anything. He just saw Stallone running, and he just took an orange. Here, catch it.
That
was cool.
You know, the funny thing is the first weekend we went out there to film Mike, he said, let's go to the Italian market. And we're talking, this is such a goofball thing, detail, but we're out there in the Italian market and we're talking to the lady says, what are you guys doing? You know? And come to find out this worker at the grocery stand we were at, that was her cousin. And she said, that was, you know, that's her claim to fame. Like, that was my cousin that threw the orange to Rocky. You know? And he was like right over there. Like, there he is.
That's
like,
cool.
all right. Yeah, funny stuff like that. I mean, there was just a million things we could have put in there too, in the doc.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's cool. Matthew said there's so much, David already put it on the screen, but he took it off already. There's so much hope and encouragement in Mike. It's a blessing to see.
Yeah. Oh, nice. That's nice. Yeah. And that was the idea, you know, is like, you know, I got motivated. Anyone that was on the crew got motivated just working with Mike and telling his story because, you know, I always as crazy as someone's dream might be, you know, if they're passionate about it, you can't really, you can't do, you know, if you're a good person, it only motivates you, you know, and it was funny because we would take these trips, you know, drive down to Detroit or from Detroit to Philadelphia. And a lot of times I had different people with me just kind of helping out, you know, on a shoestring budget. And every time on the ride home, they were like, their life was changed. You know, like, dude, I'm going back to school. I'm going to be a filmmaker. I'm going to get back in TV. I mean, every time we came home, and I felt it too. My motivation was, I got to get this thing done. That's my dream, is to finish this thing here. So.
That's awesome,
well, you
man.
did it, and it's really good, you know.
Yeah.
You told his story very well, I think.
Thank you.
Yeah,
what did you guys think? What was your, you know, as you're watching it, did you kind of go through like, I don't know, you know, like, were you cheering for him the whole time? Or not at all?
I'll go first, bro. I'll go first.
All right, go ahead.
So when I started watching, my brother's like, "Yo, okay," because I have the Voodoo account, but he put his PayPal account on my Voodoo account. And he's like, David, you need to buy The Pretender for us so we can watch it before we talk to Jim. I'm like, all right, well, okay. So I purchased it, and then I started watching it, and I'm like, look, honestly, I was a little nervous for Mike. I was like, but as the story, uncomfortable. As the story kept growing and kept going through, I was like, you know what? This is pretty cool, man. Because I didn't know who Mike Kunda was. I didn't know anything about anybody in this whole, you know, I didn't even know this guy existed until I watched your doc. And I was like, wow, this is amazing, you know? Yeah. And I was kind of like happy to see that there was someone out there not being like Elvis Presley or someone else.
Yeah. Right.
Rocky Balboa, man. Why not? Why not? You know, if you're gonna pretend you're somebody, why not Rocky Balboa?
Right.
You know?
That's right.
And the best part was at the end of the movie. I think it was the end credits, where Sylvester Stallone has the book in his hand that Mike sent him. Yeah. And then they actually met up, and that part made me very happy. I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, cool! Sly's not a douche. I like it."
No,
Yeah.
yeah, he is, and he's a good dude. He's a good dude. And I was telling Dan before you got on, Stallone saw the movie and Instagrammed about it and put it on, like, it's a great movie. And if you're a Rocky fan, you got to see this documentary. And
That's awesome, man.
no one asked him to do that. He just did it. And, like I said earlier, we had 50,000 downloads that night, before I even woke up the next morning. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So he's a good dude, man. He's Mike is lucky that his hero is really a nice guy in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you, Dan? What was your
I kind of enjoyed it the whole way. It kind of reminded me when I was in my phases in high school and stuff. But he kind of stuck to it, and he just grew up doing it. And I was like, that's pretty neat. I thought that was pretty neat. Little and what made me more happy was when his parents said that they were proud of him no matter what.
That's good.
That was that was like, man, those are some good parents, even though he's got a quirk in his whatever was going on, and he wants to be Rocky the rest of his life. I mean, and people do make money doing Elvis impersonations, so why not? Why not go out and be something different and do something different? And then finding out that he does the tours around Philadelphia, film tour. That makes it more like, wow, at least he can do something with it. And take people somewhere and make a little money doing it. Because Rocky's not a singer, so you can't he can't go up and sing. So
Well, you saw what happened at the restaurant. That wasn't the best outlet. For his impersonating when he's at the restaurant.
Oh, right. When he was at the restaurant. Something happened there. There's some mixed communication crossings or something.
Big time.
And people were like, "Who are you? What's going on? Film what?"
They thought everyone was going to come there to see him, and they had no idea. It was just people coming home from soccer practice and getting their kids something quick to eat, and like, whoa, what is this dude?
Right.
But yeah, it's funny. I haven't really, the movie's been out a while, so I haven't talked about this too much on a podcast or anything. But at the end of the film, like, you guys each brought up like certain points where we almost ended the film with that. Like, we almost ended the film with his mom saying, he's my son, and I'm just proud of him. We almost cut it there, and we almost cut it. That was the first one, and then the book. We threw in the book because we kind of had all the build up. So we're like, all right, when he holds the book, or let's include that. Let's put it in the credits and the payoff. And then, but we didn't. And then at the end, we added in the credits, when he actually meets Stallone, and that happened after the movie came out. So when we put it on, when Gravitas bought the film and put it on Amazon, I said, we have this footage. I don't know if we want to put it in there or not. They said, absolutely. I mean, you got Stallone in there. It's full circle. And he said,
nice. That's cool.
But, I never wanted the film to be about Mike, like, chasing Stallone,
Right.
I wanted it to end with Mike's happy with himself. And Mike's proud of himself, and Mike accomplished something. Cool. Yeah. And I got to say, like, when we were editing it and we added the score, the part that not surprisingly, but caught me off guard, and I was like, well, almost got emotional. And I've seen every frame of this thing, man.
Toward the end, I was getting emotional, definitely.
Yeah. But when he helped that lady up the stairs, she had muscular dystrophy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, I got chills just now bringing it up again. But that was, if I was to pinpoint a part of the film that, I'm most proud of, or most, encapsulates the message, like, that was awesome. Awesome. At that point, he's his own hero. He's not Rocky. He's Mike, and he's doing really good things in this world.
Yeah.
So
that was that a part of the film tour that he does?
Yeah, that was a special thing. They had a Rocky run that was scheduled there. I think they do it every year. They just do that, and Mike attends it. But that lady it was like a birthday or some milestone in her life, and her friends put it all together and invited Mike to kind of run the Rocky steps with her.
Nice.
And so I think and it was like a spur of the moment thing, and she was like, I want to run up the steps, and they said, well, you can't, take your wheelchair, and so she took a couple steps herself. And then Mike and a bunch of other guys just kind of lifted her the rest of the way. And,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I wasn't there for it, but we got that archival footage, and I fell in love with it when I saw it. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Matthew says the pacing of the film was really quite good.
Yeah.
And it was. It was good. I definitely felt like, even though it was 55 minutes long, it felt like it's done already, like those good movies that you watch and you're into it and you're like, oh, it's done already. Darn. Isn't there more,
Right.
So
where's the sequel?
Where's the sequel?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
We've been asked that.
Sequel.
Yeah. We've been asked that quite a bit. Mike himself has asked us, we got to keep going, man. I'm doing new things and this and that. But yeah, and the pacing, to speak to that, and we just, our thing, Danny was the editor on this thing. We worked together really closely, and it was all about like the way we trimmed it back was we had a ton of footage, but the realest moments are what stayed in. They moved the story forward, and they were 100% authentic. That was what we left in, because Mike is he's a performer.
Right.
So sometimes, you're like, he's kind of putting on a little bit here. This isn't, And so, he'll admit that himself too. But we cut around all that stuff and just tried to stay with the heart of the story and how Mike really, really was, he really is. Yeah. He's still with us.
I'm kind of going to go back a little bit because I wanted to mention that another favorite part of my scene in this doc was when his mom or when his dad was talking about, you can't give up no matter what it is. You can't give up. So he was talking about how Mike was in wrestling and he just got up and walked out, and he was making up all these excuses why he wasn't going to go through with it. And his dad's like, listen, I don't care if you win or lose, but you can't quit, because if you quit now, you're going to quit on everything else in life.
Yeah.
And
that's definitely almost like a Rocky moment.
Yeah. But that personally, that rang true in my heart and spirit, because I remember my grandfather saying things like that, my grandmother saying things like that. And it's just like, wow, man, that's legit, because I even tell my kids that, my 7-year-old girl, she'll start, get frustrated with stuff and throw her hands up and be like, I quit. And I said, no, you can't quit. We're going to keep pressing through. We're going to keep doing this until you get it, because if you quit, you're going to just quit at everything. And I don't want, I don't want to raise quitters. So.
Yeah, it's true, man. And if you finish, you feel so good, man. Even if you do lose, at least you did it. I mean, life's about experiences, and if you give it your all, or at least finish what you started,
right.
you're just building your character, right? You're building character, and and that's his dad was such a great guy. Those words were motivating me to finish the film. It was like, if you quit at and I couldn't imagine not finishing it. I would feel terrible, if we never finished it. And same with we had a hometown screening once we finished it. And that was the first time we showed it publicly, and talk about nervous, man. I mean, this, our first feature, it's like I said before, it's a goofy thing. I have all my friends and family and people I worked with, and here to see a guy pretending to be Rocky for an hour, and it took you 5 years, Jim, and it had like 400 or 500 people in the theater, and it was was the most nerve-wracking thing ever. But at the end, I mean, they all stood up and cheered, and it was like one of the best moments ever, and you really put yourself out there, but it was all worth it,
Yeah.
Right. That's cool.
Yeah. So his dad motivated me too.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you finished it. We got to see it.
Yeah, exactly. I know. And I think it would have, if we didn't finish it, me and Danny both say, like, it would have poisoned the Rocky movies for us. Like, if it came on TBS, I don't think I could watch it and be like, oh God, it reminds me of that thing I never finished, so we had to like preserve Rocky too in our brains.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Matthew says, I really like the part where you hear someone in the neighborhood say in the background, Rocky wasn't an inspiration, and it shook him.
Yeah.
It got him all upset and stuff.
Yeah. No, that's a good one, Matt. That is, I think a lot of people like that part, including me. And I think, again, because it was totally unscripted, it was totally it was freaky, man, because, I didn't know Mike that well then. That was one of the first things. That was the first trip again when we went out there. And that guy started, the neighbor started throwing bottles and getting angry.
Oh, wow.
And all I kept thinking was like, should I stop rolling? Should I stop shooting this? This is crazy. And I eventually saw Mike getting upset. And I shut off the camera, and I wish I would have kept going, but I ran it long enough where it was like, all right, this is getting too much.
Yeah, it's enough. Yeah.
And then it was, we got in the car, and it bothered him still, and it bothered him all day. It ruined his day. What happened there? It really ruined his day, and that was more than I was. That was more than I thought would happen. I thought, what's going on? I mean, is he still? And I asked his wife, is he still upset about the more than I expected, like, is he still upset about that? Yeah. And wow. And I had to tell myself, just keep rolling. You see, when you watch it, it's just silence for a while. He's driving and he's kind of, and I was just like, come on, Jim, just keep rolling. I know this is uncomfortable. Just keep rolling. And that's one of my favorite parts too, because it was super, super real. And it was when I kind of thought, this is deep, Yeah. That was good.
Yep. Matthew says happy accidents.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely.
Totally. And then we had cool. The other thing was we had the GoPro running in the car. So we got to get, afterwards you hear Mike and his wife talking, and we weren't even there. So it was 100% real. No one knew the camera was on. And we just happened to get their natural, real conversation about it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it was neat. Little treasure.
Yeah, definitely.
So I gotta ask, since you said it took 5 years, what year was it when you guys filmed Mike sending his book to Stallone? Because she had like a flip phone recording it.
Did she? Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what year it was. It could have been 2013, 14.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It was just weird to see. I'm like, oh look, she's got like a flip phone recording him taking.
It was
That's
like a
funny.
weird looking phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I pick up on weird things.
That's
guys.
great. That's great. Did you notice the skunk in the film?
No, I didn't notice that.
So you got to watch it again then.
I will.
All right.
We own it, so I will.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, good. Yeah. The skunk has it was just I couldn't leave it out. So it's nothing deep. It doesn't mean anything, but it was we had to keep it in there though. Yeah.
Now, it'd be funny is if you had a skunk in every scene.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, right.
Kind of like what show
in the
was
background of it.
It was TBS. There was a show with these two guys, and they had a pineapple in every scene.
Oh, really?
I can't remember the name of the show.
Interesting.
Oh, forget it. Anyways, TV shows I don't remember. Movies, depending on the movie, I remember it very well.
That's good.
But they had a pineapple in every scene, so
that's pretty neat.
It was funny to see.
Well, it's like the oranges in the Godfather movies.
Okay.
They say whenever there's an orange, someone dies or something bad happens.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Corleone's either peeling an orange or eating an orange, or Marlon Brando puts the orange in his mouth to scare his grandson, and he dies in the tomato plants. Yeah.
Right.
So, a little theme. The skunk is just a free skunk and added production value. We just left it in there.
That's cool. That's funny. Yeah, the production value is pretty good. I definitely liked the way you put it all together and how it looks.
Definitely the production was well done. I mean, it didn't look cheesy at all. So
yeah, it kind of looked a little gritty, which was we liked. I wanted to keep it real. The score of it is an original score with real instruments and
nice.
Yeah, we got a good hookup on that because we're in Detroit. You know, there's a lot of car commercials going on here, and a guy named Chris Pooley is from Detroit. He's a composer, but he moved to L.A. He did a lot of car work here, and then he moved to L.A. and he's actually he does a lot of Katy Perry's music. He's a composer for Katy Perry, and he's like the lead composer on American Idol now.
Oh wow!
So because we were from Detroit, and we said, "Will you help us out?" You know, hometown team, and he gave us like a really good deal. And what he would do is, if he was recording something for something else, he'd say, "Hey guys, hold on, let's do one more thing here. I got a little something I want you to try." And he'd record it, and give it to us. He gave us like a full score at the end of like a couple months.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And that music for this, it would either make or break it. If it was cheesy
That's
music,
true.
it's
That's
like
true.
Bill Conti, you're going up against, Academy Award-winning music. Yeah. People have in their brain of what a Rocky movie should sound like. Yeah, I was real happy with the way this sounded. It felt like a Rocky-ish story.
Yeah, definitely did.
If we were doing a review, I would have given you a point on the score because that score was epic for me. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Sweet.
Matthew said,
"Yeah, go ahead."
Real quick, Matthew says you should put a skunk in your next film.
Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Just make it a theme now.
Yeah,
a skunk, even if it's a small one in the corner somewhere.
Well, Pepe Le Pew's out of a job. Maybe I'll put Pepe Le Pew in.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
I'll call him up.
Nice.
That's funny. Yeah, I will.
Yeah, that's good. This cancel culture. Don't get me started.
I
know. I was going to say something. I forgot what I was going to say now.
Sorry for interrupting you, bro.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Here, Matthew wants to know what camera you used.
Well, so I used, because I bought that camera a long time ago, and it was a Panasonic HMC 150. So it didn't shoot the tape. It was like the first camera that shot on an SD card, one of the first, and it was only 1920 by 1080. But as we were shooting over the 5 years, cameras got better and cheaper, and I got better cameras, and I had better access to other cameras. But we kept going on that camera because we wanted to keep the look of it.
Yeah,
right.
And there was the 5D. I don't know if you know much about cameras, but the Canon 5D came out and other cameras, and it didn't look as this camera almost looks like 70s-ish if you color it right. It looks like kind of looks like a film camera where some of these other a DSLR doesn't. So we just kept with that camera and the whole way through, even though other cameras came out, and I still have it. Now it's like a pet dog I would never sell.
Right.
Now it's just has nostalgic, qualities for me. But the other thing was that camera. I mean, it was only like $1,500. No, it was like a $4,000 camera when I bought it, $4,500. But we did a commercial once. We just had to get some pickup shots for something,
right?
And we got all these automotive workers in this thing. They're supposed to do this shout out to Eminem because he was going to win a Grammy that year, and we got all these people, and I shot all this stuff on this camera. My boss at the time said, just go out and shoot a bunch of stuff. So I did, and then something happened, and they ended up needing footage for an actual TV spot that played at the Grammys with Eminem in it, and they used a lot of footage from that camera because they said it cut in really well into the film camera that they shot on.
Nice.
So when they said that, I said, we're definitely sticking to this camera. This camera's fine for this. So
cool.
Yeah, kind of, So now it's just sitting in the studio is a decoration now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
You got to keep all your old stuff,
I know. It's hard
put it in your own small museum.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. Like Mike's. I'll put it in my basement like Mike's.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And prop it up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fun. Cool. Any other questions, bro?
I don't know. I don't know what you guys talked about for the first 20 minutes while I was gone. So.
Yeah, we were talking for a good, I don't know, what was it, about 15 minutes before you
kind of
on.
how we met Mike and things like that. But
okay.
Yeah, and then Yeah, and we talked about when it just came out, and kind of doing the podcast and everything. Sebastian Maniscalco saw it. You guys know Sebastian, the comedian?
I heard of the name.
Sebastian Maniscalco, yeah.
No, sorry, not me.
All right. He saw that. He's like a Italian comedian, but he saw it and he talked about it on his podcast. They spent like 2 episodes.
Oh, that's probably where I heard the name. I think you posted something on your Instagram.
Yeah,
on the Instagram for it.
That was a big deal. Yep. That was cool.
That was cool. Pretty cool.
So they did like the first episode, Sebastian talked about how much he liked it. And then the second episode, the other guy in the podcast spent the whole hour making fun of it. So we have like this. It was both good press,
Right.
Yeah. He didn't hate the movie. He just thought Mike was, he didn't relate.
He was an interesting guy.
Yeah. Mike is interesting.
Yeah. So
I don't know. No offense. Like, nobody take offense here. But for some reason, the name Mike, because we have an Uncle Mike, and he's kind of out there. It must be the Italian Mikes.
Yeah,
are just unique.
I have a brother named Mike too. That's funny.
So
Jim, are you Italian too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you can't tell in his last name.
Well, I can. I was just I had to say it.
Yeah. Which was fun, doing this too, because all my family has always loved Rocky, and
Yeah.
I like his dad's line in the movie, like, Rocky's just like us. He's Italian.
Right.
It's like such an Italian American thing to say. Like,
exactly, right.
You feel like the guy. Like, Stallone. Like, Uncle Sly.
Yeah, Uncle Sly.
Yeah. So
true.
Yeah. I'm Italian.
Yeah. So our grandfather, he's Sicilian. And,
so am I.
So my grandpa, he talked in like broken Italian from
every
Brooklyn,
once in a while.
And he had a lot to say.
Yeah.
But he never taught us Italian, so it kind of lost some of that flavor there. But
yeah, that's what they do. Same here. My grandma barely spoke English, and my mom's she lived with us. Lived next door to us. My grandma, and I could understand her, pretty well, but my mom's fluent, but she never taught us at all. But my wife, she's Italian, and she taught herself. She after I think she was 12 years old, she started to go to Italy, see some of her family, and then just invested in learning it herself, which is like pretty cool. Unheard of. Everyone kind of like, they never taught me, so I never learned. She was like, I'll just figure it out myself.
Yeah. There he is. What's up, Uncle Mike? Sorry, I gotta give Uncle Mike a shout out. Uncle Mike.
That's great.
Uncle Mike. I think Uncle Mike always liked the Rambo scene, though.
Oh,
He was always like the Rambo guy,
Yeah, he's Rambo.
That's fun.
He's Rambo.
That's what Mike Kunda. That's what his brother liked Rambo more. That was his thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely. That scene where you show the pictures of him being like the Rambo kind.
Yeah.
And perm his hair and
Isn't that crazy?
That was crazy. That was pretty cool though.
I know. Well, it was like this secret chapter in his life. Like, wow, he was Rambo for a while. And
like, right. you got Rocky, Rambo.
Yeah.
Rocky.
This little blip. Like, oh my god. So.
Yeah.
But yeah.
He must definitely. Oh, go ahead.
No, I got. I think you asked me like, am I working on anything else coming?
Actually, up? That was my next question. I was going to ask anyways, because you got any questions? Yeah. Jim, you got anything coming up?
No, we do. We haven't started yet, and so I think we're gonna do it. This documentary about a guy named John Caglione Jr. And he is a Academy Award-winning makeup artist, and his family saw The Pretender and kind of reached out, and
cool.
He did the makeup for Dick Tracy. He won an Academy Award for coming up with the Dick Tracy look.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Yeah,
not too long ago, I had a conversation about Dick Tracy.
Really?
Funny.
Did you?
Yeah. And he also did Heath Ledger's Joker makeup.
Did he? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So he got to know Heath Ledger a little bit.
Yeah. He said he was a real sweetheart. He's got, and we have all this archival footage behind the scenes of him doing the makeup tests and with different actors and actresses. He's like a true craftsman with like a really impressive story. I mean, he's got his own underdog story himself.
That's cool.
It's just an amazing story, and it's like one of those stories like Mike's where it's hard to believe until you actually like dig in and you're like, oh, you worked on the Coneheads on Saturday Night Live. I mean, he just did all this stuff that is amazing, and he did Donnie Brasco, the makeup in Donnie Brasco, and actually, he did Al Pacino's makeup in Dick Tracy. And they hit it off, and he's been doing Al Pacino's makeup for the last 30 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
that's great.
So yeah, we're gonna in April. He's first the pandemic, and then he got on a long-term gig. And once it looks like in April, there's going to be an opening where we can kind of start filming and doing some stuff.
That's cool, man.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very good. I can't wait to see it then.
Yes.
I can't wait to dig in, man. It's so cool.
We'll definitely be following you for more stuff.
Sweet.
That's for sure.
Sweet.
What do you think Inside the Booth could be the first group to get you to talk about it?
That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
That'd be cool. Full circle.
That's right. That'd be fun.
That'd be great. Yeah. So yeah, he's super nice dude too. So that's a big thing. Like when you're making these docs, like I couldn't imagine telling Mike's story for 5 years and not genuinely liking the guy or genuinely having some kind of bond or it'd be tough. So it's nice that he's also a great guy, this John that I'm talking about. So
yeah, his last name makes me think of Mafia for some reason.
Oh, I know. It's a great name, man. It's so cool. It's one of those good names. Yeah.
Yeah, we got stuck with Arena. That's it.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of epic. Yeah.
It sounds epic, right?
Nice thing is Arena can go, Italian, Spanish. My wife, she's Puerto Rican, so I don't. The sad thing is I haven't learned Spanish yet, but
just roll the R, right?
That's right.
Arena. So that's what I get. So
that's funny.
But
it's great.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, so that's coming up, and we're got a couple shoots coming up locally here, so keeping busy. Yeah,
that's good.
And we have our free Blockbuster. No, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about the Blockbuster.
Yeah, this is like totally.
This is cool.
Wait, Blockbuster?
Is super unrelated.
Yeah, it's super unrelated, but it looks pretty fun.
I'll link it. So there's this thing called freeblockbuster.org. Okay. And what it is, it's like those libraries, like you can those mini libraries, like have a book, leave a book, take a book, kind of thing. Yeah. So someone out west, I heard about it because they put a Pretender DVD in one of these boxes, but it's called freeblockbuster.org. It's a blue box, like an old newspaper box. You spray paint blue. You spray paint the free Blockbuster logo on there. And it's this thing, I think there's 25 of them across the country now. Detroit, LA, Philly, and this is like weird movement of people sharing tangible DVDs and VHS and Laserdisc.
Yeah.
Wow. And
That's
so we just set one up last week. We were kind of in the studio and had some time to fool around and made this box, and it's been a riot, man. I mean, people are dropping off a bunch of DVDs and people are taking a bunch of DVDs and so it's been a fun little trip. But check it out. Yeah.
So so you create your own box.
Yeah.
Paint it blue, right?
Yeah.
And you stick it outside your front door?
I think it's better in like urban areas, where there's no traffic. Yeah. Yeah. You could though.
Like on Main Street probably or something.
Well, yeah. I mean, for Dan, it won't work very well because he lives out in the sticks. But
who knows?
I live. Oh yeah, it's true.
My wife is the librarian here in this town.
Oh,
so
see? Put it out in front of the library.
That's right.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
but yeah. So it's been something goofy.
That is interesting. Yeah. I mean, I could do it in my community because I live in a gated community here in Florida, and I'm in a townhome area, so I got a bunch of people everywhere.
Yeah,
there you go.
That would be interesting.
It's pretty neat. It's pretty funny to see what people take, what people bring. Most people just drop off stuff they don't care about. But we have
right,
people that are like, you're gonna love this, and they'll put that in there.
Right.
Toxic Avenger, like goofy,
Nice.
B movies and stuff.
B movies.
Cult
Those
movies,
are the
yeah.
best.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan, did you tell Jim anything about this quote unquote movie you said took 3 years to make from high school?
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't say much. 3 years to film, at least. I mean,
this thing's been in post production for 20 years. Okay.
Yeah. Is it done? It's not done.
No, it's not really done.
I don't know if it's done or not, but I have a copy on DVD because when I left the area, I was like, "Yo, I'm taking a copy with me."
Oh, it's awesome.
And so it's edited to an extent, and there's like no music. So when I put it on for people to watch, I bore them a little bit, but
sure.
I'm like, this is awesome.
Look at this.
All right, so the name of this movie is called One World.
Okay.
And the premise, we stole a lot of plots from other movies like Star Wars
Sweet.
And some war films. So this, as the story goes, the plot is basically this. You ready? So there's basically the three main characters. You got the guy who's called the founder. He runs the whole world, like the globalists today. And then
there you go.
We got this spy whose name is Cobra. We took that from Stallone.
We
Stallone's
did.
Cobra movie.
I love that character.
Yeah, so
he eats pizza with scissors in Cobra. I mean, no one does that.
Right.
It's so funny. But then my brother's character is Mad Dog.
Mad Dog.
We got like these G.I. Joe names for these characters. It's crazy.
That's awesome.
So Mad Dog and Cobra team up to take on the Federation, the whole order. And then there's this guy named Red, who's like Mad Dog's right hand. He has a twin brother that gets captured into some kind of, I don't know, human scientific thing. They test all these crazy stuff on him. So we filmed this thing. It took 3 years. I was a youth pastor at the time. I got all the teenagers involved. I said, "You're in this movie."
Yeah,
we're filming the movie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
So
I love that Red has a twin. That was probably going to get two characters for the price of one actor.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
And they're wearing the same thing.
Yeah, right. Pretty much.
So, and then,
I mean, it's a good premise. We just got to
awesome.
rewrite it. Maybe we get you to, and we can
you guys,
do this whole film all over.
You guys will be fine.
Lord Jesus.
That's
I don't
great.
think I'd be doing it all.
I'd love to
but-
see it. Have you seen the movie American Movie?
No.
No.
Oh, you'd love it,
Not
man.
sure if I even heard.
You'll relate to it. It's the same story. It's about this guy that spends like 10 years making this film. And he keeps changing it and all this stuff keeps happening. But then someone comes and films him, makes a documentary about him making his movie. It's called American Movie. It's really good though. I mean,
Oh wow.
it sounds like a joke, but it's really great. It's a
American
good film.
Movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll look it
really
up.
good.
I just wrote it down. I'll look it
Yeah,
up.
that's
Awesome.
really neat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so
man.
that's what we did.
That's awesome.
I mean,
love it.
like my brother and I, we grew up in, Cowtown, New York. And, we had nothing to do. We didn't get into the drug scene. We didn't get into the alcohol scene, but we got out our video
creative.
cameras. Yeah, we just got out our video cameras, got all our friends involved, and we just basically ran the whole town. There were nights where we would go to the local 7-Eleven and film in there. and they were like, okay. And we'd run in and do something stupid and then leave. And then they're like, huh? And then I used to work for a restaurant, like a pizza place. And the owner was like, yeah, you guys could film in here. So it was closed down. We opened it up to shoot the scene.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, we went all over the place in that
That's
town.
what we did.
Yeah. That sounds so fun. I wish I got into that more as a kid. I didn't. It was later when I realized like this is really what I want to have fun doing,
Yeah.
But that stuff, it's so addicting. Like you said, you keep going to 7-Eleven, like, let's go again. And playing it all out. And I got to get one more thing. But yeah, you got to finish it, man. You should just finish it. And, if you're in there, if your heart's in that film, people will see it. They'll get it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at, I'm already brought up 3 other movies that remind me of it.
Right.
So it's like, there's a story there for sure.
Definitely. Cool.
See, bro, all you have to do is add After Effects, and then we'll be okay. You know.
You know what I'll do?
True.
I'll have Mike's dad call you and motivate you to do it.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. That'll be good. That'll be good.
He would too.
Finish that movie.
That's funny. Well, thanks,
cool.
guys. Thanks for having me on. It's been fun.
Thanks
talking
for
to you
coming.
guys. Yeah, it's really cool.
You know, definitely.
Thanks for being gracious with me for being late.
No problem. Yeah. No problem at all.
You want to close out, bro, or you want?
Yeah. I'll close this out. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching Inside the Booth. You know who we all are, but just follow us on various platforms. We're on many
platforms,
but the most important ones are Patreon, YouTube, and Rumble. Check us out there. Follow us. Hit the like button. Hit that bell button. Whatever you got to do to get our name out there, because you know the only way to do it. Yeah,
that's right.
Thank you, Jim. The only way you're going to get more content if you just get the algorithm going. So
yeah, that's right. Share it.
Share.
And don't forget to go find The Pretender.
Yes.
And go watch that movie. It was pretty good.
Get the movie. It's really good. Also, one more thing. Check out insidetheboothtv.com. Check out the shop page. Check out the oh man, there was a
stuff at the shop page.
Yeah, no. I'm not repeating you from last week. The Hall of Fame supporters Hall of Fame.
Okay,
check those out because
I got to add a few more too.
Yeah, we got to add a few more. We should add Jim on there.
Yeah, Jim will be another one we'll add up there.
And if you guys don't know what that page is about, basically it's like a cork board in your local grocery store, and we just post people's business cards. So there you go.
Basically,
yeah. So check us out.
Sweet.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Thanks
for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye.